Yeah, I think it's been good this whole spring. You know, obviously Kevin, Keldrick, and Ty has taken 98% of the reps. I think they all have done good things. I think Kevin has taken like the mental aspect of the game uh, this spring, taken it to another level. Like knowing what the defense is trying to do to him and playing off of that. Keldrick's been playing well as well, and then Ty has been very, very, very impressive as a freshman coming in here, just picking up the offense, knowing to go with the ball. He's out there changing protections and stuff like that. So he's been super impressive. So all three of those guys have been doing a really good job.
When it comes to Kevin's progression, in the mental side of the game,
Yep.
what all does that entail that he's either changed, improved, all those things
Yeah.
this offseason?
Yeah, I think that was one of the things that that we wanted to focus on the offseason before spring ball started. So we had meetings, 2 or 3 times a week, just literally going over the basics of every coverage, every blitz that we seen from our defense and from the teams we played, right? And him really, focusing on that and knowing what the defense is trying to take away. He's applied it to practice every day. So just offseason studies, kind of watched the games last year where we struggled in, and figured out why we struggled and how we can get better. Just every aspect. He's focused on the small details, and I think that's why this spring he's taking it to another level.
When it comes to those small details, what's it like as a coach when a guy has that baseline and he's done it on the field and you're kind of able to get into that kind of nitty gritty
Yeah,
stuff with him?
yeah. I think that's why Kevin is such a good player, right? Because he's had success. Some guys they'll have success in their life. They think they got it all figured out, right? But I think the great ones they try to look for areas to improve in every single day. So Kevin, from he allows me to, and me and Coach Lashley coach him hard. Like he doesn't say anything back. He just takes coaching and try to apply it to the field. So everything from his drops to everything, he wants to get better, right? And I think that's why he's going to be such a great player this year coming up in the future.
For him, what were maybe some of those biggest things that you felt like he needed to do to take that next step?
Well, I think Kevin is so talented, and his arm is super talented, right? So he thinks he can make every throw, which a lot of great quarterbacks think that. But I think picking and choosing the areas where okay, I'm gonna take this shot, or I'm gonna check the ball down, right? If it's not clean, check the ball down, live to see another day, and then we can come back always on the sideline and talk about it. And just him protecting the ball, making the right decisions, not really focusing on who's out there and who's practicing with him, but just trying to do his job to the best level we could, and that's what we kind of focus on every day.
When you bring in a guy like Ty, you had Keldrick on the roster already. Tyler's rehabbing. What do you look for out of Ty? Because sometimes quarterback rooms there's 4 or 5 that he's walking into, but there's 3, and
Yeah.
so he got a lot of reps this way.
Yeah, he got a bunch of reps, and I think when we recruited Ty, we knew he was a really good player. And I think he came in here and exceeded those expectations. So we just talked about it out there, but when you come in and you join a position room in college football, it's your job to add value right away. It's your job to put pressure on the guys in front of you, right? And I think he's done that. He's came in here. We literally met when I was off the road every day. Like he was texting me and can we meet for 30 minutes? Can we meet 45 minutes? And just trying to learn the offense before spring ball, and he's done that. So I think he's did a great job adding value to the room, and I think he's going to keep continue to get better every day.
A guy like Keldrick, just what have you seen from him as he's kind of, at least for spring, in that backup role and being
Yeah.
that number 2 guy that is always a snap away? How's his development come along and what you want to see from him?
Yeah, it's been good, right? Keldrick is a very steady player, right? Like you kind of know what you're getting from Keldrick. He's going to go out there and make the right plays. He can make every throw as well, and I think he's done a really good job this spring. Just being who he is, right? Going out there and making the right plays, making the right decisions. And then again, like when you got a room that's competing with each other, like from Kevin, Keldrick, and Ty, like you have to have a good day of practice, or the other guy's going to take more reps than you the next day, right? That's how we want it here. So he's been feeling Ty, and he's been responding well. So it's been good.
You were very productive as a player in college. You transferred, made a move as well. I'm curious, not maybe about the exact situation at Tennessee, but just kind of the world of quarterbacks now.
Yeah.
Being a franchise player and just kind of how, as a coach, you have to approach your guys and managing the room because there's not collective bargaining agreement and all that other stuff.
Yeah, it's a different day and age, right? I think here, we want guys that want to be here, right? Obviously we do everything we can to take care of our guys, but they have to want to be here, and we won't beg anybody to do it. So I think in today's age, yeah, you're right. You got to maybe attack things differently, and I think we do a pretty good job here, and that's why a lot of guys don't want to leave here. Um, so we just try to make this place the best we can to help guys stay.
Tyler, obviously, he's not able to be on the field repping with those guys, but what has his presence as an older veteran guy done to that room?
It's been great. I think his value was really shown this offseason when I was on the road and I couldn't meet. And like him and Kevin was kind of leading meetings, and even when I am there and I'm talking a little bit, like he always adds in some like maybe some things that he noticed to help him out when he played. And he's a guy that played at the highest level in Miami and Wisconsin. And he's seen every defense that you can throw at him, right? So him being in the room has been great. He's adding value in that way, and I think he's going to help Kevin, Keldrick, and Ty this whole year.
Billy kind of mentioned it, but when the room is small like that, just how important is managing personalities, but also, and you want them to compete, but you also want them to compete for the name on the front of the jersey. Just kind of how do you manage a smaller kind of room than maybe a lot of quarterback rooms are?
Yeah, I just think the type of guys that we have in our quarterback room, they are really good people first before good players, and I think we focus on that in recruiting. Like we want to recruit good people, not just good players. So, I think they all come to practice every day and the meetings every day with the right intentions. Yes, there are a lot of different personalities, right? And we just it's our job to kind of figure out each guy in the room, just to coach them. And again, they allow us to coach them. So I love our group of guys that we have.